Hey guys, welcome back to Magic TV. My name's Craig. It is 9 o'clock on a Saturday, which means it's time for another video, time for another interview. And I have got on the channel with me today no stranger to Magic TV. Many people say that this person is one of the best and most prolific creators in the world today. This is somebody who consistently releases banger after banger after banger, spanning an entire genre of magic, like so many different things that he creates in, and everything is super commercial, which is why he's one of the most beloved creators in Magic right now. And the reason I want him on the channel is because over the last few weeks, he's brought out so many new tricks. And I wanted to do an interview where we kind of talk about all of them and also kind of talk about some of the exciting stuff that's coming up in the future. If you want to see any other interviews with this person, I have interviewed them in the past. We talked about their career through Magic and how they got into Magic. That's not what interview is going to be about. It's going to be about some of the new stuff that they've brought out because honestly, this person can't stop creating magic. I am, of course, talking about the legend himself, the one and only David Jonathan. David, how are you doing, my friend?
I am fantastic. I am snowed in here in New York. We had a major snowstorm, so what better way to spend trapped in my house than spend it with you, Craig, and your lovely
Oh,
audience here.
dude, thank you so much. Yeah, it's bad weather over there at the moment, isn't it?
Yeah, it's crazy. We haven't had a snowstorm like this in a few years. Last year we had like no snow. We're like, global warming, huh? And now it's like, nope. Here's your foot
Wow,
of snow.
wow. Well, that doesn't stop you from creating magic. And like I said, like you have brought so much stuff out in 2025. And obviously, we did a couple of interviews through 2025 and we talked about some of the stuff that came out. But in the latter half of the year, like the last quarter, you came out with so much great material that especially the last couple of months that I haven't even had a chance to properly even review yet. Like how you're managing to bring out this amount of magic, but at the same time maintain the quality and maintain the consistency. Very few people can do that. I mean, it's incredible, really, mate.
Oh, thank you. I think top to bottom, at the end of every year, I always look back at, what I put out that year because I set goals for myself and I want to see if I achieve them. And, it's a good time to look back and also look at the year ahead and see what's in the pipeline and try to keep push forward, as you say. And I think top to bottom, 2025 was like my best year as far as the whole of my releases. I put out like 9 effects, which is crazy. Not in Craig Petty territory yet, but I'm getting up there. And yeah, it just so happens that sometimes everything comes out at once, and especially with the holiday rush, Black Friday leading into Christmas, it's good to have new releases out, and I did quite a few over that time. So yeah, man, it was a very good year, and looking to build on that in the year ahead.
Wow. So let's talk about some of the. Well, actually, before we talk about some of the newer stuff that you've had come out,
Yeah.
first of all, let's just you've got an update that I think it's worth talking to everyone about with one of your older items, Synergy.
Oh
That
yeah.
updated. Would you mind just very quickly touching on that first of all? Because when you told me about this, I was like, oh, that's very exciting.
Yeah. So Synergy I released in 2023. I was very fortunate. It made your top 10 of the year. And it kind of flew under the radar at the time, so I was very happy to see that. So if anyone wants to see, you've done a review self special on that in the past. So I won't go into what it is, but for anyone
It's
new, this is
amazing. Put it that way. All you need to know. It's
yeah,
amazing.
it's hands-off predictions on your phone without ever touching your phone. So on your lock screen, in your your gallery, anywhere on your phone, even music playlist, they'll have free choices and everything's predicted there. I mean, there are routines with like 1,000 outs that you don't touch your phone, it's there. It's really cool. But when it came out, the setup was easy, but it just took a little bit of a while. And
I remember doing
obviously,
the setup. I didn't have a problem with it, but it must have took me a couple of hours because I was doing it slowly to make sure it got done correct. I didn't want to make any mistakes.
yeah, it was just one of those kind of like tedious because I won't get into the weeds, but you have to go through a bunch of authorizations, and it had to get through like kind of every scenario in order to do that. And it was easy, but you kind of sit there like pressing a button. Anyway, the new update now. So if you're new to Synergy, now's the perfect time to get it. because everything's so much easier. You used to have to download photos and store them in a database on your phone, and all this stuff had to be in the right place. That's all gone now. And as far as just you download, it's a shortcut project. When you download the shortcut, you just run it once and that's done. It's all set up. Whereas before you had to run them anywhere from like 6 to 10 times. So it's just so much easier, that initial setup, that now it just feel like it's a little more accessible to everyone, because now it's just a breeze. So it's kind of strange. We're talking here 2.5, 3 years later after it came out, to still go back and update older effects. But it's kind of like one of those things where it's like, oh man, now when I look back at it, I should have done it this way. You know what? I'm snowed in. Let's just sit down and cram through it and do it all. So, I mean, it took like 10 hours to do all that for a product that, the shelf life, it's not selling like it once was. But
that's
if
what I
I
love
can
about
have
you,
something to improve it, I'm going to put it out there. So, trying
that's
to
what
push energy now.
yeah, that's what I love about you. You care about your customers, you care about your products. While a lot of people will bring a trick out and then go, right, okay, that's it, done,
On to the next one.
on
Yeah.
to the next one, and won't even answer questions about a product that's 6 months old. You're going back and you're updating stuff from 3 years ago, and that just shows, you know, how conscientious you are, and how much your customer means to you. So that's great. That's amazing.
Yeah, I mean, part of it too is I'm doing a lot more conventions now on the dealer side of things. So I love to showcase these products up front of people, but some people are tech averse, right? So they say, yeah, but what's the setup? Like, look, I'll show you exactly what it is. Boom, boom, boom. Oh, that's it. I could do that, and then I like to have that moment there. So
That's great. That's amazing. So you've updated Synergy, and
yeah.
people can go back and look at that. That's brilliant. But I want to talk about some of the stuff that I haven't even had a chance to review yet. That's just because I can't keep up with all of your material. Now, the first one, here's a sneak peek for everybody, and by the time they watch this interview, it's probably already gone up. I'm because Ryland is so busy at the moment. I'm starting to do the odd review show with Thea, with my daughter Thea.
Oh,
And the first review show that we have going up of me and Thea is coming up, I think, next week. We've filmed it. It's just being edited at the moment. And one of the tricks that we're reviewing is this and that from TCC. Is it this and
yeah.
that? That's right.
Yes, this
and
or
that, yeah.
that.
And I didn't know what to expect with this
This
because I
guy.
didn't see the ad copy, I didn't see the trailer, I didn't see the tutorial, I didn't see anything. And I've now watched the tutorial, but Thea watched it before me and she performed it for me. And I was like, this is really smart. This is like
Thank you.
the easiest way to do like a matchup routine. But unlike a lot of matchup routines, it's not ESP symbols or anything like that. It's relatable. Thea could absolutely relate to it. As a 10-year-old girl, she's seen all of those videos that this is kind of based on the internet, and she was like, "Oh yeah, this just makes total sense to me." She loves it. I love it. I think it's great.
Oh, thank you. I think you hit the two nails on the head there, because this is myself and Nicholas Mavrasis. Surprise, surprise. His name's going to come up a lot, so get used to it. And this is just the idea was me sitting around with my kids and watching like Would You Rather or this or that on YouTube.
Yeah.
Which they'll show like a burger and a pizza, and we yell out which our favorite choice is. And they loved it. I'm sitting there like, man, this is a great magic trick, right? So that had the idea, and then we thought, okay, so how can we do this? And then Nicholas came up with the method with the cards inside there, which I'd have to give him a huge shout out, because I hadn't seen anything quite like that before. Maybe it's been done before, but when he saw it, I was like, oh, that's so clever, dude. And then we were working on, then I figured out the box solution, which I won't go into too much of what that is, which has been done before, but we got the proper permissions, and you put it all together and you have a really cool effect there. So it's the fun premise, it's a really cool, smart method, and it's things that people can relate to, right? Because it's not ESP symbols, it's, do you prefer video games or board games, pizza or whatever. So I think it's a lot more relatable in that way. And just to show people, you get these little game cards, and then they can choose, there's some extra cards here. So for example, like pool or beach, right? So they would make their choice from a blue set, and you would go through all the ones here, and then you bring out a matching red set, and all your choices match there. So you mentioned there's a review show that's probably up at this time, so I'm not going to go into too much or perform it, but it's a really fun effect. So I'm glad that so far the response has been great.
It's not the sort of thing that's a magician fooler, but damn, is it commercial? Is it so commercial? It's the easiest and cleverest way I've ever seen of doing that sort of matchup routine.
Oh,
And
thank
when
you.
I saw it, I was like, "Oh, that's so clever! That's so clever!" Yeah, it's super smart, and I love the fact that on the tutorial you had like the way of doing it where it's 100% correct, which is the way Thea likes doing it. And then I loved the idea that you had the way that you and Nicholas prefer to do it, where they get one wrong. You know, your prediction is off
Yeah,
is
so
wrong by one, and you've predicted that from the beginning, which is even better.
right, which is cool because you actually know exactly which one. Because they look here, I don't know if they can see that, but it's I'll choose summer, you'll choose winter, which is a free will thing we have going on here. But it's cool that not only I knew you get one wrong, but I knew which one we'd or not get wrong. But yeah, that's the other thing. In Magic, like you get things wrong. There is no wrong because it's personal tastes.
Yeah.
So it's not like you're getting something wrong on purpose, which is the problem with a lot of Magician in Trouble things. Whereas this is, no, it's not we got it wrong. I knew which one we'd disagree on. So it's kind of solves that issue that I have with some effects. But yeah, it's a really fun routine. I'm glad you and Thea are enjoying it.
Love it very much. And that's a TCC thing. Their typical quality. It's just really good. It's really good. It's a nice little everyday carry thing because everything fits into one little thing. You put it in your pocket, takes up very little pocket space, and you're good to go.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, shout out to TCC. I think you can relate that they're just a joy to work with,
Oh, yeah,
and
yeah.
so they crushed it with this, and happy to have more things in the pipeline with them that maybe we can get to a little bit later on.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Now, what can we talk about now? Because there's so much.
So this or that came out, and also Travel Test came out, and I'd love to talk about this and actually kind of expose it
Yeah. So
because
I travel test is I haven't seen it yet. I know I am going to be reviewing it when it comes out or when I get it. But this is one that you and Nicholas, this is another you and Nicholas collaboration, but this is being marketed through yourself, through it's self-published. Right.
yeah, it will be through Murphy's in a couple of weeks. We're getting ready to ship that all out, but it is available through us right now. And it's so cool. And the reason I want to sort of expose it here is just so you can see exactly what's going on. So this is kind of our modern approach to a book test. But this is all it is, I mean, talk about EDC. This fits in your wallet here, and it's a magazine page. So when you take this out of the little wallet, which I'll do here, and unfold it, you say that I'm planning a trip. As a matter of fact, I'm going to Europe. Obviously, you live in Europe, so you say I'm doing like cross-country trip or whatever, and it's just a travel guide, right?
Yeah.
So I say, but you know what? Oh, and actually, I'm planning the trip. I even got the gift card already planned out. So there's a little gift card that goes in the wallet here. And then you say, but you know what? Let's try something else with this. Just look through and just find any like nice word that you can think of, but go for a longer one to make it more challenging. All right, so they're thinking of a word, and then let's say you thought of magnificent, right? It could be anything. There's a lot of choices here. I encourage you to change your mind. But let's say you went for magnificent, and I say that's pretty crazy because you could have went for there was museums, there was parking, there was architecture. There's so much you could have thought of. But I would reveal that they're thinking of magnificent. I would get the word first, and then say, but I knew that you would think that because you were influenced the whole time. You say, huh? So yeah, because when I unfolded this, I made sure to flash the ad on the back because I knew you would think of magnificent. You can see that right across the top here.
Thick.
So you get these little cues in there. So this was kind of inspired by Michael Murray's Showreel, which was a magazine page fits in your wallet, kind of like a book test style thing, which I absolutely adore. I had to give one negative about it is the person had to really know movies because they had to know supporting actors and stuff. So I couldn't perform for everyone, but I still think to this day it's Michael Murray's best release, and I love it. But I wanted something a little bit different. So what we have here is a multiple out. So it's the long word principle. And there are 11 words they can think of. So there are 11 long words on here. And I can reveal all of them just in the props you see right here in front of you. And what's really
I
cool
have
about
no
this,
idea how you can get 11 outs out of a piece of paper and a little card in a wallet.
yeah, so that's why I kind of wanted to expose this because then the next thing people think of, oh, well, then I have to remember where all the outs are. And we built this really clever no memory system in here where once I nail the word, then I can go on and know exactly where it's going to be without having to remember, oh, is that on the gift card? Is that here? So that's why I kind of wanted to explain that right now, just so people understand. But first of all, the words, obviously, it's the long word principle, made famous by. Uh, Can we even say his name? That guy, but Al Coran
Yeah,
actually came up with the principle. So let's give the proper credit and not to the pedophile.
I agree.
All right, so let's credit that to the one who actually deserves it. Because correct me if I'm wrong, but I do think it was Al Coran's principle. I did the proper credit on the project. I forget here in the moment, but anyway, so it's a long word principle. We have very clever ways of getting the first letter, and then you'll know the word. To that point, there's a lot of subtleties because I normally do a two-person handling where I get them to talk to each other and I get the first letter and know the word. If I'm doing the writing version, normally you would, miscall writing the first letter, but with this, you actually you can draw like an L because that part of the line is in all the words here in the first letter. So it's kind of like a half writing, and the I and the L words are a direct hit. So 20% of the time, you write down a letter, you really write it, you turn it around, and boom, it's a direct hit, which is like, holy, that's perfect. And that happens more often than you think. So there's a lot of little subtleties built in here. But just to show through, when I bring out the magazine, as you know, mentalism, it's all about the subtleties. If I just did the bare bones of this, it wouldn't be that good. But when I bring it out, I purposely show this, oh, not that side. So they see magnificent in the back of their mind, a call back here. So I say, I just want you to think of any of the words here. And if I go down, this probably won't be in focus, but I say we have a bunch of words. Impereal, the acrostic going down, which was a callback to the beginning when I ran my finger down here. So I don't know if you can see the first letter.
Yeah.
So that's one of the words they can think of. There's a QR code here that if they scan that, goes to a YouTube video of why travel to Europe, fancy images of Europe. It's like a 20-second video in a word, timeless. Which timeless is the word, and it even has the same YouTube page as the magazine page here in Travel Europe and everything with the same graphics because I designed it, put it on an actual YouTube channel I created just for this. So a lot of thoughts went into this. Magnificent, you saw on the back here. And then here's the other outs here is the gift cards.
Right. Cards. Right.
Both of them. It's a Himber wallet. So we have two identical looking gift cards here, and each one contains 4 outs. So I'm just going to go through this, and then I'll show how you can do this with no memory. So as you see, these look exactly the same. And I'll try to get this in focus, but at the beginning, when one's right here, I say, we have a gift card here. And look where I'm pointing. So now when I go to the reveal, I can say, but not only that, I was pointing right to luxurious travel agency because that was the word you thought of. Or right here is the member code, which is kind of like a cryptext because that also spells phenomenal in reverse.
Dude.
Which is great. And then the other ones on here, that's 2. On the other side, I say, Craig, I knew you'd go for delightful. As a matter of fact, I didn't even sign my name. I just wrote delightful on the signature.
That's great.
And the other one here is I just cover this with my finger, which they see script anyway, that they're not going to assume that that's a word. I say, see little NFC logo? Because there's an NFC right there. If they bring this up to their phone, and we just tap here, and it goes to, my internet's really bad down here, so give it a second. It's a little Easter egg from the travel company. We hope vacation is fantastic. And fantastic is the word. Now, what makes this cool is that these are all consonants on one card, and this is your vowel card. So these all start with a vowel. So the vowel is up top here when I open it, so I know if the word's a vowel to open it this way. If it's a consonant, I'll just open it this way for the Himber. But here's how I can do this with no memory work. All I have to remember, obviously, you can want to know the words, right? There's 11 words to memorize. You can use a crib. We talk about all that. But all you
Yeah.
have to remember is QR code is timeless. Because let's say you thought of a word. Well, I'm staring at magnificent. I know it's not that. I can see imperial. I know it's not that. So now I know that it's not on this, right? So I can put that to the side, which I do anyway. Did the word that I nailed start with a vowel or consonant? A vowel. Okay, so I know it's the top card here. And then I can look, sorry, that's this one. And then I see on the front uncharted or expanding, which is uncharted, expanding, adventurous, or outstanding, right? So I'll know, oh, it's not one of these two. That must be on the back. Oh, I see adventurous, so I know it's the last one here.
That's amazing.
So there's this whole sort of mental, it's not even like you just look, you see the words because you know where to look and they don't. And that way you don't have to remember anything.
That's
So
amazing.
it's really
So
cool.
good.
We even go to the extent of including 3 progressive anagrams. So if you are seasoned mentalists and want to go down that route, we include that, including a great one from Reed Ferry. And also, we even include an online trainer, which I've never seen done in a book test before. Because how do you memorize the words? I'm terrible at memorizing words. If I had it loaded here, let me just do this really quick, just so you guys can see. Let's go to travel test. So on the tutorial page, let's go here. That I didn't spell this correctly. Sorry, I should have this ready to go. I know the password's correct. There we go. All right, so you see how it says, let's go to the overhead. Do you see how it says memory trainer quiz?
Yes.
So and I can tap right here and it'll show Imperial. And then D, I tap and it'll show Delightful. So I can just go through this and quiz myself, right? Isn't that cool?
Wow.
F, fantastic. M, magnificent. And I can just go through and whenever I want to quiz myself, L, what's L? Oh, luxurious, right? Yep, great. And then go to the next one. And this is all in a random order. So that's just built into the tutorial. So it just goes to show you some of the things we went in, the level of detail that goes in there, because that's such a cool trainer. With that, you can learn the words in,
That's what
24
I
minutes.
love about you and Nicholas. You really go above and beyond. You always do.
Yeah, so this is a fun one. These are actual gift cards. We went to an actual credit card printer to have these printed, so they're the highest quality, and you get 3 of these magazine pages. So there's a lot of good value for the money. It's just a wonderful book test. And that's just the tip of the iceberg. There's so many little convincers and things on the way. So I kind of wanted to expose this here just so you kind of get to see like, oh yeah, that's something I can do. And you don't have to memorize a lot. There's just so much going on
That's
here.
probably one of the best multiple outs that I've ever seen because normally a lot of multiple out routines, when you go into the amount of multiple outs that you've got there, they're so contrived. It's like,
Oh yeah,
okay. There's weak outs and there's strong outs, and you pray to God that you don't get one of the weak outs. And you see that anytime you go over like 4 outs, you start getting into territory where you're like, oh,
sure.
no. But there's no weak out there.
There is, and I'm glad you mentioned that. And I am in an extremely fortunate position where a huge shout out to JS Magic. JS is the GOAT street performer. He's like the OG on YouTube going out there doing street magic. And I'm really lucky to have a good relationship with him where he gets a lot of my performance footage. And he went out there and he got every single type of reveal for this. So we have, I think, 30-ish minutes of live performances on there where you
Wow.
see every possible outcome and not one has a bad reaction. And that's not because JS is the best performer in the world, which he is, but I mean, it really just goes to show that like there's no weak outs. We have the proof right here. You can see every live performance no matter what out they say. Because you're right, multiple outs, it's, oh shit, I wish he would have said this because that's so much better most of the time. It's like, oh, you went for the weak out. With here, I don't care what they say because every single out is strong.
Yeah, that's really good. And super practical. And you put it back in the wallet and you're ready to go again.
Yeah.
It just fits in that little wallet, but in your pocket. That's commercial. That's super commercial.
Yeah, and it doesn't even have to be that wallet. We supply it. It's a nice thin wallet, but Jamie Salinas was using it in his Mind Spy, he showed me. So any sort of like Kimber or type of wallet like that that you carry around as a mentalist or whatever, just pop the cards in the credit card slots and just put that the magazine page goes into, the money compartment, whatever, and you're set. So it really
Wow.
isn't adding extra space to the performer out there. But it's a nice, just fun thing. It's great for just casual stuff as well as, strolling or really any scenario pretty much.
That's amazing.
Thank
Like
you.
that's a real win. I can't wait to get that and review that. That's going to be awesome. So, like the thing that everybody has been talking about though, and I this is on my I'm going to learn this week because I've been
Yeah.
really busy over December. But everybody has come to me and said, have you got David Jonathan's new app? I'm like, what? No, what are we talking about? Have you got David Jonathan's new app? Like the amount of people that have asked me to review this is insane, David.
It's
Can we talk
been
about this? Because
massive.
this is
Yeah.
this is a bit of a departure for you, only insofar as normally, you've been very front and center when it comes to tank magic, especially when it comes to phones.
Yeah.
But a lot of the stuff that you've done focuses on shortcuts.
Correct.
And what we have here is an actual, right? Um, can we talk about this? Would that be okay as to what the effect is and there's
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. So we're talking about double feature.
yeah.
And this has really blown up, and the response has been incredible. It's funny. I usually come out. Last time I was on here, I think we were talking about Decode, and I was like, "Yeah, this is my swan song in phone magic." And yep, here I am a year later with the next big phone
You're
thing.
never going to swan song from phone, man.
Well, my
Please tell me about
approach
this.
has evolved because this is a bit different, and some of the stuff I want to talk about coming up is a little bit different. So uh, basically, this is double feature, and where to begin with this? So first, well, let me talk about Nahal. He really wanted to join this interview, but he is over in India and he's sleeping right now, unfortunately. But Nahal is who I teamed up with this because it's a co-creation, myself and him. And basically, I'm known as the shortcuts guy, and Nahal is an incredible developer. And he said, you know what, let's make this an app, approached me. And he brought so much to the table with this, and I just have to shout his praises. So check out his other stuff. He released the Hacker app, which was on Wizard Product Review, that David Penn gave a great review. He has a wonderful app called Dynamic Keys. I can't say enough great things about Nahal. And he helped build the app, which is the front end of this, because the back end does run on shortcuts, but I really think this is the way going forward. And part of that is because when we see a lot of apps come out now, yes, I know that there's a lot of people like using AI to build them, so there's kind of more flooding the market. But the bigger ones, again, this is my opinion, but the back end of it has all these server costs, and that's where you get these subscription fees come in to maintain all that, right?
Yeah.
When you have this back end that uses the app as the front end interface, running on shortcuts on the back end behind it, the app becomes very lightweight, right? It's kind of just the easy interface. So that means that this whole project is much more easy to maintain. And that's why we're able to introduce it at an incredible price point, where most of these apps are over $100. This is only $45, but what it does is incredible. And the big thing is that I had an eye-opening experience when I got to have a little bit of peek behind the curtain and the estimates of how much I was getting losing to piracy because shortcuts aren't protected, where this is. So that made a big difference for on the developer side, where now our time and hours of investment is protected because even though it's run shortcuts in the back end, because they're integrated into the app and because we have activation keys that even if you just had the shortcuts, it wouldn't work without licensing the app. So there's a lot of stuff. I don't want to bore people on the back end, but I really think that that's kind of the path forward. And we're seeing that a lot now where you have a lot more apps coming out that have shortcuts on the back end. But for people who don't like shortcuts, this is perfect because you download a couple on the back end and you never open the shortcuts app. Everything is done through the double feature app interface. So when you're here, you're in the app itself, and it's so intuitive because it's just tap to perform. A lot of times get an app and I'm just like, oh my God, I don't even know how to begin. How do I even perform this thing, right? This is the exact opposite. So, what is the effect? I should probably mention that right now, right?
I love how excited you are about this, by the way.
Yeah. So, all right, David, you've been going on. What the hell's the effect? I apologize, everyone. I got ahead of myself. So, the effect is there's multiple. All right, so I'll just show you an example here. So, actually, here, Craig, I want you to think of any actor in the world. This could literally be anyone. And this could be someone from the present, it could be someone from the past. So whoever you have, I would just hand you my phone with the Notes app and just type whoever you think in there. So obviously, we're doing this virtually. You're going to have to tell me, but normally you would just type it in yourself.
Let's go Hulk Hogan.
Hulk Hogan, the Hulkster.
Oh,
All right, so you would type in Hulk Hogan, like so. All
yeah.
right. And the cool thing is, you can be burning at that note screen the entire time. You're not going to see anything, even though a lot's going on in the back end, right? So you would have that here. I'd say, okay, Craig, did you go for a male or female?
I went for a male.
I knew it. All right, I'm 1 for 1. Cool. And is this person still with us, or are they more from the past, or are they no longer alive?
No, they passed away.
Recently, unfortunately, R.I.P. Hulkster. But you would say it's morbid, but yes, I knew that too. I'm 2 for 2. This mentalism stuff's so easy.
I'm not buying this, man.
You're not buying it, right? I know.
Ooh.
But here, I'll tell you what happened, because this is not exactly what you think. You didn't just write in a note. You wrote in my prediction.
Really?
Because the note that I handed you right now was not blank. If you scroll down, you'll see there's some text there, and it says, I predict that you will choose an actor who is known for his role in Rocky 3. Now that's cool, I know, but it could have been Sylvester Stallone or whoever else was in that film.
Yeah.
But can you just lock my phone and just tap the screen? Terry Bollea right there.
Yeah, man. Oh, fuck me.
Isn't that cool? And the cool thing is that's all in your hands. I never touch anything, and it just works. Now, that's one of the routines.
You had a kind of a version of this on Black Mirror, where
This stemmed from Black Mirror, yeah.
where the lock screen changed.
Yes.
You had a version of that, but this is next level, man.
This is the evolution of it. So
you know what I love about this? Can I tell you what I love about this?
yeah.
The thing that I always get really fucking annoyed about is when people have me write in a note
In notes. Why?
for no reason at all.
Exactly.
That's why I loved your shortcut stuff, because you had the version where write it down, and I was able to do it with them writing it down on a billet because of, without giving too much away because of the camera and stuff.
Yes.
I hate this is the first thing I've seen where there's an actual reason for me to put it in the notes.
Justification. I'm so glad you said that right away, because that was the big thing for me. Why am I writing in notes? Well, look, I understand if it's for a group, you don't want to say it out loud. We're getting rid of voice recognition. Just write in so everyone can see. I get that. But especially one-on-one, why am I writing it down? Can I just think of it? Can I just say it? Well, that locks it in. Okay. This is the equivalent of a billet, right? So let's say you're writing on a billet here. Tom Cruise. You didn't just write in a billet. This was actually a photo, and you folded a Tom Cruise. That's the holy grail right there for mentalism, in my opinion. And this is that in the digital form. Write in a note, they think it's blank. So not only do you have the surprise of, you actually wrote in my prediction, there was something I wrote in there before. Holy shit, really? Whoa, there is text here. But then it justifies why they wrote it to begin with, because it was secretly a prediction they wrote in the whole time. And what I like about that too is it's not just Hulk Hogan, scroll down, I think you'll think of Hulk Hogan, right? It's someone who starred in Rocky 3. It's that adjacent hit, which one separates a little bit from the method, but also it's then, but I poke a hole at it. It could have been a lot of other actors in that film. Maybe I got lucky. But that's only part of my prediction. Lock the phone, and then that's just such a visual reveal of boom, right in their face. They just see that
right in the nut. That does. That is just ridiculous.
I can go on record and say that of all this magic I've released, this by far gets the best reactions. And we back it up because Again, JS is a godsend. I have him get a ton of my footage. Reed Ferry got some as well. Shout out to Reed. He's also fantastic up there in Toronto, probably freezing his ass off right now. But JS went out there, and between them and Reed, we got like 20 performances. And Craig, you'll know this as you're when you're out there filming for getting footage for the trailers. You'll come back after like that was the money shot right there. Like we got it for that one. Like you've been there, right? It's like every one that he was sending through was like, fuck that, that's it. That's it. That's every single one was crazy reaction. So it just goes to show you like you get 30 minutes live performance of here, people freaking out. And that's just one of the routines. So that's the actor routine. You can also do film or TV, right? So in that routine, they write in any movie or any TV show. Then when they scroll down, so let's say they write Game of Thrones. I think you'll think of a TV series starring Emilia Clarke. First of all, it knows to write TV series and Emilia Clarke. It knows to write, I will think of an actor that was known for his role. So it knows that context as well. It's kind of the double hit there. So starring Emilia Clarke, Daenerys Targaryen. Oh yeah, but it could have been that terrible Secret Invasion show or whatever else she's been in. But then the lock screen's a Game of Thrones poster, right? So you get that visual reveal at the end there, which is so cool. And then there's music. And the music one is crazy. So they type in any artist in notes. So let's say it was, I'll go for my favorite band, The Roots, right? So let's say they type in The Roots. And then I do my gag jokes. I'll explain why in a second, right? So you saw Mel, I knew it, this, I knew it. And then they scroll down. I predict that you will choose an artist in the genre of hip hop. Yeah, that really narrows it down, right? But what I didn't tell you is right before I came over, I was playing one song on Spotify, turn up the volume. And in the case of The Roots, like You Got Me is playing. When they turn up, they hear that song playing. You go on to Spotify, it's already halfway through the song, proving that it really was playing on mute when you handed them the phone of any artist they can think of, which is just crazy. And this all happens hands off in their hands. And I want to, so that's kind of the routine, but I want to dig into some of the back end stuff and just how simple it is, because sometimes apps can be so confusing. But when you look at the screen here, actually, let me go to the overhead and let me bring the brightness down. So you see it says double feature. If I want to perform actor, music, or film TV, I just tap actor and it goes into notes and I hand them the phone and it's done. I'm ready to perform. So a few things popped up there at the beginning, which kind of get into the method. But it's that quick where it's just, I want to perform film TV. I press the button, I hand it to them, and my work is done. But there's all this stuff here, and this might not be out at the time, but you'll see sports here. This is coming to the app very soon. Shout out to Nahal, we're working on it. It's done, it's working here. And I'm really excited about that because I love sports. And again, we talked earlier about trying to relate to people. Sports is massive. I mean, especially here in the US, like right now, Super Bowl's coming up, but I'm sure in the UK,
Yeah.
that's kind of the thing here. I'm going to say UK probably soccer or football for you is football, right? Is the most popular sport, where that's less popular here. So that's why it's kind of hard. In India, rugby is really popular, but not even here at all. So we don't see a lot of magic effects with sports because it's very regional. Like, yeah, I can do NBA, NFL, NHL here in the US, and that'd be great, but I don't think people might care as much, where you live. This does, because this can be any sport, anywhere, any athlete, anytime. So now I don't care if you don't have to put in, a Tom Brady, LeBron James, Jalen Brunson, your top NBA stars or NFL stars. You can put in someone more obscure that I might not know from other parts of the world. It'll work with boxers. It'll work with wrestlers. I mean, you can do anything because this is using AI and Wikipedia, or depending on the source on the back end for images. And we've been yet to fool this. Like, it works with anyone you put in. So now we get a sports routine in here that'll work anywhere and be relevant anywhere in the world, which is so hard to do in Magic, right? So I'm really proud of that feature coming. But a couple more things, and I know I'm going on here, so if you have any questions, feel free to say, David, shut up. But
Don't shut up. Keep going.
you can spell anything wrong, because that was really important to me. I know that if someone's thinking of Timothy Chalamet, you're absolutely going to butcher his name. So if I wanted to run this, and I'm just going to do this in the background as we talk, I'm going to do actor again, and I'm going to write Leonard wrong space D cap, and I'll show. Can you see how, let's do this one here. See how awful I wrote Leonardo DiCaprio?
Yeah, I can see. Oh my God.
Totally butchered it. So let's say I'm performing to an idiot, and that's how they type in Leonardo DiCaprio. It doesn't matter because it's still going to work on the back end as long as my internet holds up down here in my basement, because it's going to autocorrect the spelling and know that, which was so important because when I first was playing around with this, unless I spelled it perfectly, it's going to fail, right? But now with this, there was no problem. And just to show you right here, I predict that you will choose an actor who's known for his role in Titanic. And then if I go there, there's Leo.
Wow.
And that was spelled Leonarddeecapreo. So that's just to show you that in the real world, this is pretty flawless because they can spell it wrong and it's still going to correct it. So it does use AI on the back end, but here's the thing where people get caught up on AI. Oh, so I have to pay for credits, or I have to pay for performance, or I have to have premium ChatGPT. No, this works on free ChatGPT. You don't have to pay a dime to use this. Okay, but then after an hour or 2 hours, then I'm going to reach my cap, then I can't perform it, right? No, because all AI does is you'll start off at 5.0 or whatever the latest ChatGPT is, and then once you reach your cap for free, it'll go to a dumber model. It'll go to 4.2 or mini. But for all I'm asking for it to do here, the dumbest model can do that in a heartbeat. So even though my free limit might bring me down to a dumber AI model, it still works with this perfectly. And then on the back end, there's something that Nahal and I figured out that's kind of newish on a back end that gets the photo in and does that all on. It's so cool how it works. So the fact that they can spell it wrong is huge. It works with movies, TV shows, music, anything with pop culture, sports. And that's only part of it, because I want to show right here, if I go into the settings. So you see we have a lot of settings here. There's watch peaks. So if you have an Apple Watch, I can get a peek of what they wrote. So then I'll know that beforehand, which is helpful because then they don't have to necessarily read everything out loud. I'll know what they're saying and I can speak intelligently, because if I did predict it, I should be able to speak about that. Does that make sense? Yeah. I'll also get a vibration on my watch, which will let me know when it's safe for them to scroll down. So once the back end appends the note, then my wrist will vibrate, and then I can know that I'm good to scroll down or they're good to scroll down. We work with Mr. Smith, so Peak Smith. You can get a vibration or a peak through there. There's a confirmation sound. This is a great idea from Nahal. So basically, the AI has to do its thing on the back end, which will take, maybe 10 seconds, or 15 seconds, which is why I ask those questions. Was this a male or female? I knew it. You get the gags in there. That's to let everything run its course in the back end. But now I can do a confirmation sound where on their phone, a fake text message comes up from Amazon saying your return for item number blah, blah, blah has been successfully approved. And when I hear that ding of the text, that's my confirmation to know I can tell them to scroll down, which is pretty cool. So shout out to Nahal for that. These are all options you can turn off. There's no internet mode. So let's say I'm here in my basement, which the internet is not good. If I was to perform this, it's kind of hit or miss in this particular spot. So I can turn off no internet mode and do this entire thing without any internet connection.
Ow.
So now when they type in whatever actor, when they scroll down, they're going to get an acrostic reveal. So it says, I think that you'll think of an actor who's best described as Tom Cruise. Terrific, outstanding, marvelous, TOM, the imperial reveal that I showed before, where that is all preloaded in the back end of the app, and it can spit out that acrostic reveal. You can also do that with the internet mode and just change an acrostic setting, just turn that on, and now you get an acrostic. And I can have that appear in all caps. I can have it new lines or separated by commas just at the push of a button here in the settings, which is so cool and a wonderful addition. There's also, I can change some of the stuff. If you noticed, we removed the background here, which gives it that really nice feature on iOS. Oh, sorry, let me get back here. You see how it has that black background? That was actually
Yep.
removed as part of the app, so it looks more like a wallpaper. You can set that within there. And then we have integrations. And the integrations are really fun because now we work with, let me just check here. So external input, Mr. Smith, Goo, Inject, or Clipboard. So they can search up someone on their Inject Google, and then on my phone, you'll see the prediction that I wrote is in the notes and the wallpaper appears when they do the search on their phone. Same with Goo. Same with any of the apps that integrate with Mr. Smith or with the clipboard. So if you have a digital clipboard, right, like a Lumen or Patata, they write down on the clipboard Tom Cruise, and then on my phone, the note's going to appear with the someone who'll star in Mission Impossible, and then the background will be Tom Cruise, which they wrote on a piece of paper, which they crumpled up, and I never saw. So all that is in there as well. And then all of this is customizable. So this is where Nahal really shined, which is I can go to edit the prediction text. And then just right here, I can literally change all this. So where it says, I predict you'll choose celebrity who starred in blank, I can change that around to be whatever I want. So I can customize all of this, which means this works in any language because you can put your language in here. You can tell the AI to output in your given language. So the prediction text is all customizable. The acrostic text is all customizable. Everything within here. There's just, I mean, I know I've been going on, but that's some of the stuff that's not in the trailers that you see. So the back end is so robust, and we continue to add new features based on the community suggestions. And I think I've covered almost everything with there, but man, this has been just taken off like crazy. Right now it's exclusive to my website to where to get it from, but Nahal and I have just been blown away by the feedback and support just within the past a month or so of it being released.
It is incredible, David. I mean, I don't know. I love all of your material, and you know how big a fan I am of things like snaps. But I think this is probably the best thing that you've ever released.
I wouldn't call you crazy for saying that. And again, it's one of those things that it's always on your phone. So I didn't bring my cards with me. You know, like the music routine on here is great. I released instrumental, which works with a pack of cards, which is fantastic.
Yeah,
But I have
interesting.
to bring the deck with me. If I don't have it with me, I get a killer music routine just right here anytime. And again, it's one of those things where it's like, oh, how do I perform this again? It's been a while. I have to relearn this. I don't. Tap, hand it to them, and it's done. Like it's just so foolproof and so easy. I mean, I have people who aren't magicians who people know me, they know I'm a magician. I show it to them. They're like, I'd love to show this to my grandkids. Can I get this from you? Like, yes. So I have non-magicians performing this even. Like, it's crossed over just because it's so cool and so just so easy.
Yeah, that's an absolute win. That's a
Yeah.
win. That's a real win. That is incredible. That's incredible.
Thank you, man. I
That's
know I've
even
talked a
better than I
lot
thought
here,
it
but
was. Like I always thought it was good. I haven't learnt it yet. I'm going to be, and now it's going right to the top. That's just brilliant.
and the
Wow.
cool thing is, like, we really stress tested this too. You can put in the most obscure actor from the 1930s, it'll work. You can put in like these random ass films, it'll work. Like it really, because I mean, if you think about it, you have AI and the internet at your back end here. Like if it's on IMDb, their database is like incredibly robust. Like it's gonna find those matches. And if it doesn't, then AI will go to the next movie site. It'll go to TMDb. It's just it's really amazing.
Jam. That's three killer routines. I mean,
Yeah.
all three of those are brilliant. But you also told me that before we wrap this interview up, you were going to talk about a sneak peek of a new thing that you've got coming out soon. Is that right?
Ooh. Yeah. Well, actually, we can also talk about. Should we talk about the thing we're both doing this May?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
This
let's
cat's out
talk
of the
about that.
bag
So,
now. So
cat's out of the bag. So, you are doing your first international convention. You
Yes.
are one of the lecturers at the very first Alakazam convention, which has almost sold out. They've managed to find another 50 tickets,
Yeah.
but it's pretty much sold out, which is incredible. And I love the fact that your first UK convention lecture is Alakazam when you've released so much stuff with Alakazam over the years. It feels right. And I know that you've got some special stuff planned for the convention. Is that right?
Yeah, no, I'm lecturing and dealing there, so I'll have a lot of exclusive stuff with me. But that lecture I'm planning to make very special, where I'm going to be teaching things that I normally don't teach. So that's one you really don't want to miss.
Yeah, it's going to be brilliant. And it's taking place in May. There are less than 50 tickets left. It is taking place in a wonderful theater.
Yes.
And yeah, it's you've got Mark Spellman on the bill, you've got the legend David Jonathan on the bill, you have Tom Wright on the bill, and Mark Spellman. No, I said Mark Spellman. Mark Spellman, David Jonathan, Tom Wright, and myself. So
Yeah.
full lectures. I mean, that's a great lineup in any convention anywhere. And then you top it off that it's Alakazam, that are doing the whole thing. It's just brilliant.
Yeah, I think Mark Bennett's in the gala show I saw too. I might be making that up, but
Oh, wow.
I thought I heard that as well. And I gotta hear some of the dealers that are going to be there. It's a who's who, so it's going to be great. I really can't wait. And what a cool venue, and what great company to be with. I'm excited to meet everyone that I haven't met in person yet. So it's going to be a lot of fun. And I've been jabbing Peter. I think we're going to have a couple new releases for myself, probably
Brilliant.
debuting at the convention. So I don't know if I can. Pete's not why he won't care if I just divulge a little bit, right? Just start the hype train a little
Oh,
bit
you
early.
know what Pete doesn't know won't hurt him.
So one of them is it's another type of photo deck, but very different from snaps. Which I've already teased on this channel. Snaps will be reintroduced later this year as a jumbo size, and the
Excited about
routines
that
that
one.
Dan and I have put together for that are amazing. It really takes full advantage of it. I can't wait to. That's probably towards like Q4-ish, if I were to guess, this year if it happens. But we're filming that very shortly. But this is another type of photo deck, which is more for mind reading and with zero memory work. You can shuffle the cards. You can literally choose any card, cut to any card, doesn't matter. You look at that photo, and I'm telling you, with no memory work, I can instantly tell you what you're looking at. And the method is crazy. I've hinted at what it is to you in the past, how this works,
Mhm.
and it's just very exciting. It's based on some other principles done in kind of a new way, but yeah, when you see the method, you're like, oh my God, it's like one of those things you can learn in 5 seconds and understand it. But then there's lots of other little things that I built into it and techniques and stuff that I'm really excited for that. But that's a really fun one, so I'm excited for people to see that.
That's awesome. That's
And
awesome.
then the other thing, which should hopefully be ready, um, if I say black and white, you kind of,
Oh, I've been waiting for this for like 5 years, David.
yeah.
I've been waiting for this since the fucking pandemic. Like this is so good. And I was beginning to lose hope, frankly.
Yeah, it's happening, and we have it finally designed now. And everyone watching this, sales at alakazam.co.uk, and tell Peter that he needs to get this out of that convention. No, I'm kidding. But it has been a very, very long time, and this is cool because the ending is unlike anything I've seen in a magic trick before.
Yep.
And it's just so striking and so visual and such a unique trick. And there's 4 or 5 methods at play, all layered together really beautifully. And I'm excited for people to finally see this.
Yeah, it's killer. It's killer, man.
So that is coming in May. So grab your tickets if you haven't. And Craig and I will see you there. But there's some stuff coming before that because Craig, Blackpool's around the corner.
Blackpool is around the corner.
And
And
unfortunately, I won't be there this year. I'm planning to go in 2027. But Jamie Williams, I have teamed up with the incredible Jamie Williams. If you know Sticker Kicker with Roddy McGee or some of his other incredible work, he came to me with an idea for Two-Face. And this is going to be released at the convention. I don't have a release date for the public after that, but Jamie is lecturing, and he showed me a little bit of his lecture, and it's incredible. So be sure to check out his lecture. And he'll have a stand as well where you can pick this up at the convention. And this is a really fun routine. So it involves celebrities, and it's a nice little packet trick right here, or it's kind of like an EDC-ish because it just fits in your pocket. And we have these beautiful celebrity cards and a little prediction here. And should I show the routine, or should I tease some of it? I'm not sure I can show all of it, but so it comes with these beautifully designed celebrity cards of all these popular celebrities. With really cool artwork on here, and they are made of plastic, so they can get wet at a bar or anything, and they'll last a lifetime. Basically, they predict a celebrity from here, and you know what? I don't want to take the wind out of it because James can do this at the convention, but they predict a celebrity inside this they choose a celebrity in the fairest way. Inside this envelope, you say that you have a prediction of a celebrity. You take it out, it says your celebrity as a gag. You turn it over, and that's where shit gets crazy. And I'm not going to say anything more, but the cover is kind of a hint of what's going on here. So there are two incredible kickers to this, where one takes place physically and the other takes place on their phone. So something magical happens both in the physical world, and because it happened here, it now manifests on their phone, and they now get to keep a souvenir on their phone of this magical moment that's clean at that point. So something magical changes in both in the most magical way. I want to, people go to the convention, I don't want to take the wind out of the sails there, but it's something you have to see. It's so practical. Again, 4 methods at play here that work together beautifully. And the physical change happens with no switch. And then the phone thing happens. It's not an app or anything. It's just an untraceable method. And it's such a worker. It's instant reset, all that good stuff. And it's perfect for table hopping because there's multiple different outcomes that all have the same strong climax. So again, I don't want to give away too much of it, so I'm sorry to be a little bit more of a tease on this, but I just want to give some hype to Jamie for his lecture because it's one you don't want to miss. And be sure to pop by his stand and grab yourself a Two-Face because this is probably one of my favorite things we've come up in a while. And Jamie's such a brilliant creative mind. He had the idea. He said, what if we did this? And I said, man, that is cool. He said, all right, so how do we do that? And then I went to work and figured out the method, and here we are.
Brilliant. Brilliant. Match made in heaven. And you've told me a lot more about this than you're giving away now, and I can agree it is brilliant. And Jamie's a great guy.
Yeah, Jamie's fantastic. He has a few other releases lined up for Blackpool that are all very good. He's a real worker. He's out there, doing gigs left and right and been road testing this stuff. So you're getting a refined routine, and we both are very excited about this. So I'm sorry to be a little bit more of a tease on this one, but I want to build up some hype for Blackpool a little bit. Don't want to take the wind out of his sails, so to speak.
Absolutely.
But I can give a little bit more dirt on something else coming out. I don't have a release date, but fingers crossed it'll be next month.
Yeah, when you get to the point that you've got packaging, that normally means it's close.
Well, this packaging's been around for a year. You know the story. So most of the time, yeah, but sometimes shit'll hit the fan. No, but yes. And eagle-eye people will have noticed this on Murphy's website. You know how they have that graphic of all their standard packaging in the row?
Lloyd Barnes loves this packaging. Like, he absolutely loves it with a passion.
You know what? 1914 does it, TCC does it, Murphy's does it. So there's 2 camps out there, so it depends where you fall. But so George can't get mad at me because it's been on his website for over a year, if you know where to look. So this is Gamma. This is from myself and Nicholas. Nicholas Mavrasis, obviously, and this is so freaking cool. I'm so excited about this. This has been like 4 or 5 years in the works, and we're finally here. And this is our mentalism envelopes, and I'm going to show them a little bit more today because I've been teasing them the past few times I've been on here because it's been in the works for that long. But these are the final envelopes here. So you're going to get 12 with them. There's one set that are numbered here, beautifully designed and printed in sort of a classic look here. And we have a second set you get, which are more symbols, kind of like ESP style, right? So you're going to get all 12 of these. And when you hear mentalism envelopes, you think, okay, another peak envelope. No, this is not a peak. I don't know how best to describe it other than a witch hand, but with envelopes, which you can combine with peaks. But let me just give you an example. So let's say I handed this to you, Craig. You had all 6 envelopes here. Yep. And you chose a card, right? So let's say you just have the ace of spades here. You know what? Here, let's go to a wide shot just so I can be... there we go. So again, we'll just use this set for now. You mix them up, right? And let's say under the table you can do, so we don't know which one. None of us know what number envelope this is, but you place it inside and seal it up. Drop it on top and give it a mix. Again, this could be under the table with my back turned. I can be in another room right now. I don't have to touch this. And then you just spread this out right here. And instantly, I know it's in number 6. And if I pop this open and show, if I can get this out. Oh, sorry, yeah, doing the wrong. There we go. The ace of spades. And the cool thing is,
the thing that people need to know is that, like that you could be out of the room during that whole process. You could be gone.
Yes. And just to show you as well, everything here can be casually examined, which is the crazy part. Because I want to show you that, let's say it goes in number 5, right? It has a locking mechanism on the back. Let me go to the close-up here, or even the overhead. It's a really thick, opaque envelope. You can't see anything. The card goes inside, and then it locks on the back. Tuck it in. You can look all around. There's absolutely nothing to see. It can be mixed in among the others. And then just with a spread like this on the table, I would instantly know which one it's in. All with my back turned. Which is kind of crazy because, again, they can take it out themselves. They see inside here. They can look inside. There's nothing to see. I mean, really, nothing to feel, nothing. So when we approached Murphy's with this, it's kind of like, okay, so there must be electronics because how the hell does this work? And there's no electronics, which is the crazy thing because this is like, Titanus was doing this as a gag. Like, here, let me show you our electronic envelopes we have coming out. But it's not. It's such a simple method that's disguised in the perfect way. And you can do so much with this. So what we're excited about is it's not just, okay, well, I know where it is, but when we combine this with routines, one, I would be able to tell them which card was put in there before, so I get a double reveal. But then we have routines where there are killer bank nights. There's an amazing ESP transposition routine. There's a second ESP routine. There's 10 routines on here. There is an incredible, not bank night, chair test style effect with a killer that is such a novel method and have such a kicker ending. There's so much you can do with this. There's even a thought of card predicted with this envelope system, which is like, how the hell does that lead to that? So there's so much abstract thinking that the tutorial is just as good as the props themselves. And again, these are universal enough for any language, and there's so much you can do with this. And we're really, really, really proud of this. There's just endless possibilities. So we think that this could be like a true staple of, like a certain type of envelope that everyone has. Oh, I got my peak envelopes, I have this, and then I have my gamma envelopes.
I mean, my mind is racing, and I haven't even seen the tutorial. Like, just with that little demonstration there, The
So
song.
you know how it works,
Yeah.
right? So yeah, okay. So I did disclose that to you, but I mean the fact that you can casually examine these is just crazy.
Mad. It's absolutely mad. You continue to fucking hit this out the park, David. You really do. My mind is,
Nicholas too. I have to give him just Nicholas myself. I don't want it to be just me taking the credit here, so I know he's out with me. But thank you. Yes.
and I love the fact that you team up and collab with people. You know, we talked about working with Jamie Williams. We talked about working with Nicholas Mavresis. You know, it's so cool. It's so cool. And you said that 2025 was your best year. Yeah, I think you're gonna destroy it in 2026. Just talking about some of the stuff you've got coming out and some of the stuff that's come out already, plus stuff that nobody even knows about yet, and the extra stuff that you're doing with snaps and everything else. Oh my,
Oh yeah. Everything I mentioned is pretty much just the first couple months of this year. We're looking at, first half ish. The second half. I mean, again, you never know. This was in the works for quite some time. So, but yeah, I never can confirm in on release dates, but there's a lot planned that should be out when I think it'll be out. That's really exciting. But I wanted to give people a little bit of a taste of what's to come in the immediate future because I don't like to hype stuff out too far out, but this is stuff that, we're talking about just, the next couple months or weeks ahead. So,
that's brilliant. So anybody that's watching this, the best way to keep in touch with you and keep on top of what you've got coming out is to go onto your website and sign up to your mailing list. Because
yes,
you work with a lot of companies. You work with TCC, you work with Alakazam, you work with Murphy's, you work with Penguin, you self-produce as well. So
a
really, the
lot.
only way to make sure of knowing when a new David Jonathan trick is coming out is by being on your mailing list, because that way, regardless of the company that's releasing it, you're going to be shouting about it before anyone else.
Yes, and you get a free trick when you sign up for my email list, and I don't bombard you with emails. But I'm also self-producing a lot more stuff now, way more than in the past. I mean, you've probably seen that last year and continuing into this year. So that stuff is usually available through me exclusively first. So if you want this stuff before most people, my website is pretty much where to go, or Nicholas's website if it's a joint release. But yeah.
That's brilliant. That is absolutely amazing. So, anybody who's watching this that's going to the Alakazam Magic Convention, they're going to see you, obviously, in a few months' time. Plus, you are lecturing all over the states. You're attending conventions all over the place, left, right, and center. But obviously, people can get in touch with you on the website. Uh, wow, David, continue. Congratulations on your continued success. I've always told you you're one of the good guys in this industry, and the success that you've achieved is well deserved. And you're such a not only a creative genius, but a really nice guy as well. So thank you so much.
Oh, thank you. And thank you for giving me the time here to come share some of the stuff with your audience. I really appreciate that as well.
And you're more than welcome. Thank you so much for coming on the channel. And guys, I want you to do me a favor. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. David will read the comments, so leave a comment. Let me know which trick you're excited for. I'm excited for all of them. I'm going to go now, even though it's 1 o'clock in the morning here. I'm now going to go and I'm going to learn double feature because fuck me. And I mean, Jesus Christ. But I'll be back next Saturday with another Talk Magic. Until then, sign up to this man's mailing list and come and see him at the Alakazam convention. David, thank you one more time for coming on Magic TV.
Thank you. Have a great day, man.
Absolutely. Guys, on behalf of David Jonathan, we'll see you again very, very soon right here on Magic TV. Thanks for watching.